Imagine you stumble upon a hidden cave in a barren desert, the scorching wind whipping around you as you step inside. The air grows still, as if guarding an ancient secret. Suddenly your eyes fall on a faded clay jar. Inside you discover a scroll, aged, fragile, yet astonishingly intact. Word by word, you realize this manuscript, penned over 2 millennia ago, contains prophecies that seem to describe the life of Jesus Christ in eerie detail. Could this be the missing piece that bridges centuries of faith, skepticism, and endless debate over Jesus' divinity? How could someone writing hundreds of years before his birth possibly predict events that would later be seen as defining moments of the Christian faith? These questions ignite a sense of awe, curiosity, and perhaps a touch of fear. After all, what if history has been whispering these truths all along, patiently waiting for humankind to catch up? Welcome to the story of the Isaiah Scroll, one of the most extraordinary finds among the Dead Sea Scrolls. Revered by scholars, believers, and historians, it offers an intimate link between ancient Jewish traditions and the rise of early Christianity. In this video, we'll explore how this 2,200-year-old treasure discovered in the Qumran Caves weaves together prophecy, historical evidence, and spiritual reflection. Prepare to embark on a journey that challenges our understanding of time, faith, and the unbreakable human desire to seek answers beyond what our eyes can see. Our story begins in the late 1940s when a young Bedouin shepherd roamed the rugged cliffs near the Dead Sea, tending his flock. One fateful day, he noticed a small opening in the rocky face of a cliff. Intrigued, he tossed a stone inside. Instead of silence, he heard the echo of pottery breaking, a sound that set history into motion. Inside that dim cave, he found clay jars filled with ancient scrolls. Though he had no idea of their importance, those fragments would soon be recognized as the Dead Sea Scrolls, a discovery that would revolutionize our understanding of biblical texts and the history of Judaism and Christianity. Among these relics was the Isaiah Scroll, nearly complete and remarkably well preserved. Over time, experts used radiocarbon dating and handwriting analysis, paleography, to confirm the scroll's age, around the 2nd century BCE. Imagine the weight of that revelation, a 2,000-plus-year-old text containing prophecies that Christians believe were fulfilled in Jesus' life centuries later. This Isaiah scroll was more than just a historical find. It was a key that could unlock new perspectives on ancient faith, bridging distant eras and opening the door to both spiritual inquiry and scholarly debate. Before we dive into its prophetic content, let's appreciate the magnitude of encountering a manuscript over 2 millennia old. For context, the Isaiah Scroll is part of the larger collection known as the Dead Sea Scrolls, an archaeological jackpot that included biblical commentaries, community rules, and apocalyptic texts. These writings shed light on a Jewish community living during the Hellenistic and early Roman periods, a time of cultural and theological shifts. The Isaiah Scroll, in particular, stands out for being almost intact, giving us a direct line of sight into the words as they were penned centuries before Jesus' birth. This level of preservation is rare, allowing scholars to study its passages in nearly the same form the scribes had written them. For believers, it's a window into a prophetic tradition that would later intertwine with the heart of Christian doctrine. But why is its timing crucial? Having been created about 200 years prior to the birth of Christ, the scroll's passages in the book of Isaiah can't be dismissed as after-the-fact insertions. Instead, they suggest that ideas about a future Messiah had already been circulating widely in Jewish thought. It's one thing to read about predictions after an event has occurred. It's another to hold in your hands a text that predated those events by centuries. Among the most compelling parts of the Isaiah scroll is the section commonly referred to as the suffering servant, found in Isaiah 53. This passage paints a poignant picture of a figure who endures rejection, suffering, and even death, seemingly on behalf of others. The words resonate with what Christians recognize as the core narrative of the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. Isaiah 53:3 talks about a man despised and rejected, bearing grief and acquainted with sorrow. Centuries later, in the New Testament, Jesus is often portrayed as being misunderstood and rejected, particularly by those he came to save. Another pivotal verse, Isaiah 53:5, describes someone pierced for our transgressions, an image that mirrors Jesus' crucifixion, where nails and a spear pierced his body. Even the detail of remaining silent before accusers, as noted in Isaiah 53:7, aligns with gospel accounts describing Jesus speaking very little during his trial. For many Christian theologians, these parallels serve as breathtaking validations of Jesus' messianic identity. For skeptics, they trigger important questions about coincidence, interpretation, and historical context. Yet the enthralling part remains. This section was written long before Roman crucifixions became a grim hallmark of the ancient world. The alignment of prophecy and historical narrative captivates minds and hearts across the belief spectrum. The conversation about Jesus' life and teachings goes beyond prophecies in dusty scrolls. Modern authors and researchers like Dolores Cannon sought to peel back layers of history using unconventional methods. Known for her work as a hypnotherapist, Cannon dove into the subconscious mind of her clients, unearthing stories that seemed to resonate with times long past, including first-hand glimpses into the era of Jesus. While some may question the methods, her research offers a striking parallel to the ancient text, a consistent portrayal of a remarkable teacher who profoundly impacted those around him. Cannon's investigations hinted that Jesus' mission involved far more than fulfilling prophecy. It encompassed deep spiritual truths about compassion, forgiveness, and personal transformation. When you place Cannon's findings alongside the Isaiah scroll, you begin to see a narrative that stretches across centuries, from prophetic visions set down on parchment to modern-day testimonies of an extraordinary life. It's an intersection of faith and exploration where the historical meets the metaphysical. Like two lenses focusing on the same image, ancient prophecy and modern inquiry blend into a richer, more complete perspective on who Jesus was and what his existence means to us now. It might be tempting to rely solely on biblical texts for evidence of Jesus' life, but external sources add crucial depth to the conversation. Roman historian Tacitus and Jewish historian Flavius Josephus, neither writing from a Christian standpoint, each reference Jesus and the early Christian movement. Although these mentions are not lengthy, they confirm that a figure named Jesus lived and was significant enough to be documented by external observers. Why does this matter? Because when combined with the Isaiah scrolls, centuries-old prophecies, these independent records form a three-dimensional view. We have ancient Jewish writings pointing to a messianic figure, Christian scriptures depicting Jesus as that figure, and secular historians acknowledging the existence of a man who sparked a profound following. Even if you approach the subject purely from a historical vantage point, the synergy of these sources is striking. The idea that a text as old as the Isaiah scroll predicted specific events later echoed in Roman records and New Testament writings challenges us to consider the possibility of a grand, unfolding plan. For those seeking evidence of divine orchestration, it's a beacon of hope. For the curious, it's an invitation to dive deeper into the confluence of myth, faith, and historical fact. Beyond the academic and theological debates lies a more intimate question. How does the story of the Isaiah scroll and the notion that it might validate Jesus' divine mission affect us on a personal level? At its core, faith is as much about emotional resonance as it is about intellectual understanding. The idea that these ancient words could span centuries to speak directly to our struggles, doubts, and hopes is both comforting and humbling. Think about the emotional triggers here: hope for a promise that transcends human limitations, fear, because confronting the miraculous can be unsettling, challenging the reality we know, and nostalgia as we imagine people throughout history turning these same pages in search of light and meaning. When we let ourselves connect with this ancient narrative, we partake in a centuries-long conversation that has shaped civilization and guided personal transformations. Jesus' life story, matched against Isaiah's prophecies, offers a powerful statement about redemption and purpose. If these prophecies were fulfilled so precisely, what does that say about destiny, free will, or the nature of God? The question lingers, inviting us to explore realms of mystery and faith that lie just beyond our analytical reach. The Isaiah scroll isn't just a relic sealed in a museum. It's a living legacy that continues to spark discussion, devotion, and scholarly exploration. Each time someone reads its words or studies its origins, the scroll comes alive, weaving its ancient voice into modern conversations about spirituality and meaning. In that sense, the Isaiah scroll functions like a bridge between different worlds: ancient Judaism and contemporary Christianity, historical research and personal faith, skepticism and belief. Its message persists because it taps into something universal: our enduring quest for truth and transcendence. For those who accept Jesus as the prophesied Messiah, the scroll provides tangible reassurance, an anchor of faith that resonates across millennia. For those who question or remain undecided, it's a mesmerizing historical puzzle, one that refuses to be easily dismissed. In either case, it transcends being merely old parchment. It's an emblem of humanity's continuous dialogue with the divine, a testament that sometimes the farthest corners of history hold keys to the deepest chambers of our hearts. And so, we circle back to where our journey began: a quiet desert cave, a dusty clay jar, and a shepherd's simple curiosity that cracked open millennia of history. The Isaiah scroll serves as more than just an artifact. It is a palpable reminder that the stories we cherish, question, or revere can reverberate through time in astonishing ways. Whether you approach this scroll as undeniable proof of Jesus' divinity, or view it as a fascinating thread in the tapestry of human storytelling, its impact is undeniable. History isn't just a chronicle of bygone eras, it's alive in every choice we make and every belief we hold. So consider the prophecies of Isaiah 53, Dolores Cannon's intriguing findings, and the historical accounts from Tacitus and Josephus. Let them challenge, inspire, or even unsettle you. That spark of curiosity and reflection is what keeps faith and knowledge evolving. If you found value in uncovering this ancient mystery with us, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. Together, we'll continue exploring the echoes of the past and the revelations they bring to our modern world. Thank you for joining this journey. Until next time, remember, sometimes the most profound truths come to light when we venture into the unknown.